I thought you'd appreciate this video a few days in advance of submitting your eTMA rather than just a couple of days that the tutorial will give you. So I will discuss it at the tutorial, and I'll certainly take any questions arising from this. Though of course email me if you have any questions before that time. What I want to say about submitting the TMA, the first thing to do is preparation. When I'm marking your essay, I'm going to be making the assumption that you've read what's in the manual and in the textbook. And of course, after you've had the library day, and I'm marking later eTMAs, again, I'm going to make the assumption that you've read the leading cases. Everything that you need is in your textbook and your manual, though of course I'd encourage you to read around, to get a different perspective, to find somebody else who has something interesting to say about the subject. But I would warn you against over-preparing. There can be a danger of thinking, well, I better not start writing this essay until I've read absolutely everything on the subject. That will be very expensive both in time and money as well. Everything you need is in the manual and in the textbook. And it can be very easy to spend a lot of time just for a little bit extra. And you need to do a cost-benefit analysis. If you're spending an extra 4 hours reading around all the different textbooks for just a couple of extra marks, then you're wasting your time. So do read around, but get the focus on the key points and getting that essay in. On word limits, you need to state them, and you need to state them honestly. I did have one student who would every time put in as the amount of words that he'd used, the word limit on the assessment guide. But actually he would write 5 times as much. Now, I can spot that. So do be honest about the word limit. The other thing is that it is a very tight word limit, and you may find that on your first draft you are well over that limit. You need to cut it down. Very often a detailed introduction can be a luxury that you can't afford. I know the traditional way of teaching has been to say, write essays with an introduction saying what you're going to say it, and then conclude with what you said. Well, in a very time-limited a very word-limited essay, you don't have that luxury. So be very thoughtful about what you write. Is it actually putting your argument a step further? Is it something that I can actually reward you with marks for? Or is it something which I'll say, very nice, very elegant, but I can't give you anything for it? The first TMA is in 2 parts. As you can see, you've got the first one, which essentially is asking you to explain the use of certain words. And of course words mean different things in different contexts. And here we're looking at the meaning of the word civil law. And in some circumstances, when you talk about civil law, you're talking about that law that relates to matters other than criminal or public law. The ones that's really about relationships between individuals, tort and contract being the main ones. In another context, a civil law system is one like they have in France or Germany, which doesn't put the same reliance on precedent that we do in a common law system like that in England. So what I'm looking for in your essay is for you to explain the meanings in the particular context and explain those differences a little bit further. So if you can illustrate the meaning, all the better. The second one is on a similar theme. This time it's contrasting criminal law with civil law. And so, again, before you set out on writing your essay, make sure that you're clear in your mind about what the key differences between criminal law and civil law are. Well, I hope that you found this useful. Any questions, email me, and of course I can discuss it further at our tutorial.